Hi guys, welcome to 2015. I hope you had a great Christmas break. You spent some quality time with family and friends, recharged and refreshed, ready for what will potentially be or can be your best year ever. And it's on that premise there I want to talk to you about in this little welcome video for 2015. Have you got a plan for this year, or are you just going to repeat previous years? If you weren't happy with previous years, then how can you make 2015 better than those other years that you've had? Well, you can do that by having a clear dream and a clear intention to do that from the start, from January 1st. So I want you to have a big dream for this year. Think about all the things you'd like to achieve, the income you want to earn, wealth creation, travel, relationships. Have a really big, clear picture of what it is that you want to achieve this year. Then start small. What is the very first right next step you can do, and act on that right now? Get your plan into action, because action creates clarity. And clarity breeds mastery. If you've got a clear vision of what it is you want to achieve, then you're halfway there. Then you just got to reverse engineer it and make sure you've got the action steps in place. And those action steps are really important, because they're the things that you want to measure, because what gets measured gets done. You've heard me say that before, but more importantly, what doesn't get measured doesn't get done. And if it can be measured, it can be improved. So that's what I want. The premise of this video now is to talk about what are the KPIs that you need to focus on this year to make sure 2015 is your best year ever. Here's a set of half a dozen or so minimum things that you need to be measuring as a professional salesperson in this industry. Contacts are the lifeblood. Talking to people is the key to real estate. How many contacts are you doing each day? For me, I made sure I did a minimum of 30 contacts every day, either by phone, on the doors, online, etc. But 30 conversations as a minimum with people about real estate. You also need to be measuring how many flyers that you're sending out each week and each month, how much direct mail you're sending out, thank you cards and handwritten notes, how many of those you're sending out daily, weekly, monthly. How about your social media? You're tracking how many friends that you're building on Facebook, how many followers on Twitter, etc. That's a potential database for you. Now, all those actions there and others will create appraisals for you. And if you got appraisals, then you can get listings. Now, the first half of that list there is all about, the ratios that you need to be measuring. You need to know how many contacts it takes for you to get an appraisal, and how many appraisals you need to do to get a listing. If you know those stats, then you can design your career around that. As a minimum, 25 contacts should equal one appraisal. 4 appraisals should equal 1 listing. That's a very average sort of set of stats, but use that as a baseline if you haven't been tracking your own already. Next from there, once you've got listings, you need to be tracking how many marketing and price review meetings are you doing. They are face-to-face meetings with your sellers, talking about the feedback that you've been getting from potential buyers, or if you had no buyers through, talking about how we can fix that up. Also, price adjustments. How many of those are you getting per month? In my office, we used to adjust the price every 2 to 3 weeks. And the trigger for that was if we hadn't had any offers and we had people through, or people looking on the website and no offers, obviously it was price that was needed to be adjusting. How many private inspections are you tracking each month? How many home opens are you doing each month? And how many sales are you getting as a result of those actions there? Those sales should turn into settlements. And the final stat there that I think you should be measuring, which is really important, is your training hours. How many hours per week, per month are you devoting to your craft? In this changing market, you can't hide. We're not order takers. We need to be using our salesmanship, and we need to be working on that as a skill, because it's your personal skill levels in this market here and in this year that's going to make the difference between you and your competitors. The better skilled you are, the more business you're going to get, the more money you're potentially going to make, and the more choices you're going to have in 2015. Some of this might require change, and change is one of those things. It's a necessary evil, but embrace change. Change is hard at first, because you're creating new habits and breaking old habits. And that takes about 21 to 30 days, depending on your personality type. But it is a little bit hard at first as you're going through that transition period. Then it gets a bit messy in the middle as you're going through the adjustment period. But if they're all heading towards the goal that you want to achieve, then it'll be worth it at the end, I promise you. Small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. Don't be too hard on yourself. Make the changes small over time. As Anthony Robbins had the great catchphrase, can I? Constant and never-ending improvement. Work on the one thing, 1% improvements each day, and over 10 days, a 10% improvement. So small increments will add up to big, stunning results at the end. So guys, I want you to stay powerful and have a great year in 2015. I'm super excited about what's happening at the group, both at our local level, at our state level, at a national level and an international level. Things are getting very, very exciting. There's momentum building with professionals, and I'm very proud to be your CEO and serving you again for another year. Look forward to catching up with you at the next breakfast in February. Stay powerful and talk to you then.